This is my actual queen. Don't be. This is my actual queen. Don't be mistaken. She wears no crown of diamonds, yet kingdoms awaken. Her grace isn't borrowed from fairyland skies. It lives in her gaze, the truth in her eyes. She walks not above me, nor beneath my feet. She walks beside me, calm and sweet. Her silence is music, her voice is flame, and when I breathe her name, I feel no shame. This is the woman who carries my sun when the day feels dark and nowhere to run. This is my love, not a rumor, not a show. She's the reason my winter forgets its snow. Don't call her beauty what the world defines. She's poetry written between the lines. A soul stitched in softness, with edges of steel, and every scar she hides, I vow to heal. Don't be the one to cast your doubt on the bond we built, inside and out. She's not a tale spun for the crowd. She's my truth, my peace, my vow out loud. This is my actual queen. Don't dare compare. She's not in your league, not even near. She doesn't dress in gold to blind the street. Her dignity walks in with humble feet. She doesn't smile for cameras, flash, or show. She smiles at my pain only she would know. And when I crumble, she doesn't flee. She builds me against one, soul, and knee. This is no fantasy, no dream untrue, no paper rose, no shade of blue. She bleeds real, and breathes real too. She's the storm I sail, and the sky I flew. Don't be tempted to imitate her fire. It won't burn in you, won't lift you higher. She is crafted by time, by faith, by strife. She's the whole definition of a fearless life. I didn't pick her for shallow delight. I chose her soul over soft spotlight. I chose her silence over others' noise. I chose her truth, not worldly toys. She didn't need makeup to paint my sky. She didn't pretend, didn't justify. She wore her flaws like sacred threads and stitched my demons in her bed. She cried not for pity, nor begged to stay. She loved me enough to walk away. If ever I doubted the strength she owns, she'd build empires with broken bones. This is my actual queen, not a tale you spin. She's the woman who taught me to win. She didn't worship me, nor lose herself. She placed her worth on the highest shelf. She's not the girl you see in the reel. She's the woman who taught me how to feel. She's the one who stayed when I lost my name, who burned in silence, yet took no blame. She waited while I lost my mind. She prayed. She stayed. She was still kind. Not once did she twist her grace to gain. She turned her hurt into pure refrain. This is my queen, not yours to chase. She's my light, my calm, my resting place. She kissed my wounds you never saw, and held me up without a flaw. Don't be fooled by her humble tone. She's royalty carved from flesh and bone. She doesn't need a stage, a throne, a crowd. She is a temple quiet, proud. She's not what gossip dares to say. She's my sun at dawn, my break of day. Not your concern, not yours to guess. She is my miracle, nothing less. So don't call her name with tainted breath. She's mine in life, in love, in death. She's the woman I rise and kneel for too. The prayer I whispered and God knew. She's not your fantasy, not your muse. She's my reason, my right to choose. Not a moment made for lips to judge. She's my forever, my sacred pledge. This is my actual queen, not your fiction, not built of myth, not your prediction. She's lived my hell, she's worn my chain, yet still she sings through every pain. You see her smile and call it charm, but you don't see her holding harm. You see her quiet and think it weak, but it's her silence that made me speak. She doesn't show her power loud, but I've seen her break and still be proud. She's buried dreams just to keep me sane, held my chaos, walked my reign. She's not the girl you message at night. She's the woman who stood through every fight. When all was gone and all was dust, she stayed, she fought, because she must. Not for fame nor love returned, but for the bond we both had earned. She never needed applause to glow. Her worth is deeper than you'll ever know. This is my queen, not a temporary phase. She's the woman who set my heart ablaze. She's not a trend, not fashion's pick. She's timeless, true, and heart-specific. She didn't come with easy lines. She came with wounds and ancient signs. She loved me not for what I give, but for who I am, the way I live. She'd rather sit in storms with me than ride the sun with someone free. She's loyalty walking. In silent form, she's peace that battles every storm. So don't pretend you understand. She's not for grasp, not for command. She's the crown I wear inside my chest, the one who made my chaos rest. She's not yours to mimic, not to claim. She's not your past, no future name. She is mine, and I am hers. In every ache, in every verse, I see you pretending sometimes, smiling for the world, nodding when others speak of us as the perfect couple. But I know better, and so do you. Perfection is a lie. We are flesh and flaws and broken pieces that somehow fit together, but only if we choose to keep fitting them, even when the edges cut our fingers. The truth is, I don't want perfection. I want real. I want the raw, unpolished you. The woman who cried in my arms the first time life broke her spirit. The woman who danced barefoot in the kitchen because a song she loved came on. The woman who looked at me once and made me believe I could survive anything. Do this now, reach for me, before the silence becomes the only language we know. Hold me before the cold becomes our only shared climate. Kiss me before your lips forget the shape of my name. I have fought for us in ways you will never fully see, turning away temptations. Defending you when others spoke carelessly, carrying your worries in my own chest so you could breathe easier. But I cannot fight alone forever. Even the strongest soldier lays down his armor when the battle feels one-sided. I am asking not as a king to his subject, not as a ruler to the ruled, but as a man who loves his wife more than his own life. Meet me halfway, even if your legs are tired, even if your heart is afraid. My wife, remember when you said love is not about keeping score, that it is about giving without counting the cost. Those words have stayed with me like scripture, but I wonder, do you still believe them, or have they been buried under the dust of years? If they still live in you, let them breathe again. Let us breathe again. Life is short, shorter than we ever think it is when we're young and the days seem endless. There will come a day when one of us speaks the last word we will ever say to the other, and I pray to God it is not a word of regret. I pray it is not silence. I pray it is love. Do this now, before pride robs us of the chance to heal, before fear convinces us that vulnerability is weakness, before the days turn into decades of what if. My wife, I have seen the world in many colors, but the shade of your presence is the most beautiful of them all. Don't let it fade. Don't let us fade. Take my hand, not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Feel the urgency in my grip, the plea in my voice, the truth in my eyes. I won't ask again, not because I am angry, but because I believe love should not need to be begged for more than once. If it is real, it will answer on the first call. So here I am, my heart open and unshielded, waiting for yours to answer. Not in whispers, not in half measures, but in the full, blazing way you once loved me. My wife, I am yours, wholly, completely, but I need to know, right now, if you are still mine. Do this now. Do it for us. Do it for the love that still burns beneath the ashes, waiting for a breath to set it aflame again. I won't ask again.
I didn't arrive at this lightly. I weighed the cost long before I weighed the feeling, because loving someone truly, honestly, without illusion means understanding that choices do not come without consequences. And I have never believed in love that pretends otherwise. So when I say I'm ready to face the consequences, I don't mean recklessly. I don't mean dramatically. I don't mean blindly. I mean consciously. I understand what it means to step forward knowing that things may change, that misunderstandings may arise, that comfort may be disturbed, that not everyone will understand the reason or even believe. There is one I have considered all of that, and I am still here because what I feel for you is not an escape from responsibility. It is an acceptance of it. There was a time when I believed caring quietly was the most respectful thing I could do, when silence felt like integrity, when restraint felt like protection, and it was until it wasn't, until I realized that avoiding consequences is not the same as acting with wisdom. Sometimes it is simply fear dressed up as caution. This feeling asked me for honesty, and honesty always asks for courage. I am not here because I want to disrupt lives or rewrite narratives. I am here because pretending not to feel what I feel became a greater betrayal than any consequence honesty might bring. If facing consequences means being misunderstood, I accept that. If it means standing alone for a while, I accept that. If it means losing comfort, certainty, or ease, I accept that too. Because what I won't accept anymore is abandoning myself. I don't expect you to carry this weight. I don't expect you to answer it. I don't expect you to meet me where I stand. This is my choice to speak with integrity, to feel without apology, to take responsibility for what I hold in my heart. Consequences are not punishments, they are confirmations that a choice mattered. And this choice does, not because it guarantees anything, but because it aligns me with my own truth. If this feeling leads nowhere, I will still respect it. If it changes everything, I will still stand by it. If it remains quiet, unclaimed, and unanswered, I will still honor it. Because love that is afraid of consequences is not love, it is convenience. And what I feel for you has never been convenient, it has been steady, it has been deliberate, it has been honest. So yes, I am ready to face the consequences, not to prove anything, not to demand anything, but because choosing truth even when it costs is the only way I know how to love with dignity.
My wife, I won't ask again. Do this now. My wife, the silence between us is heavy, like a storm that refuses to break. And I have held my tongue for too long, waiting, hoping, believing you would see, that you would understand the weight I carry, the need that presses on my chest like an unspoken cry. My love, I have called you softly in the nights, whispered in the shadows when your eyes were closed and your mind was elsewhere. I have pleaded without words, prayed without voice, yet now I stand before you, not in anger but in a truth too deep to hide, saying plainly, I won't ask again. This moment is not a threat, but it is a boundary drawn in the dust of a long, aching road we have walked together. The world may see us as two people bound by vows and rings, but I know, and you know, that love is more than a ceremony. It is the daily choice to be present, to be honest, to be whole with each other, to do what must be done, not because someone begs, but because the heart cannot rest until it gives all. Do this now, my wife, not for me alone, but for the soul of us, for the fragile thread that connects our mornings to our nights, our laughter to our pain, our beginning to whatever ending fate may write. Look into my eyes, not to read my face, but to see yourself reflected there. The woman who once said she would walk through fire with me. The woman who once said her breath and mine were one. Remember those words, remember that fire. We have been through storms, through broken glass days and sleepless nights, through hunger and cold, through seasons where the only warmth was the touch of our joined hands. Yet still, I find myself here, standing, watching you drift further from the shore where we first met, further from the place where my arms were your safest home. My love, I do not come with flowers today, nor with gentle distractions. I come with truth, and truth is heavier than any bouquet. I am telling you now, this is the hour, this is the call, this is the time when the choice must be made. There will be no second asking, because love that must beg too often begins to starve. I need you to understand the urgency that burns in my chest, the way every moment without your full heart feels like a winter that will not end. You have given me smiles, yes, but sometimes they are hollow. And I want the real ones again. The ones that crinkle your eyes and light the room without lamps. You have given me your touch, yes, but sometimes it is distracted, as if your skin is here and your soul is far away. I want you whole, here, now, as you promised me, when you stood before me and said, I do. My wife, I am not perfect. I have stumbled, I have failed, I have spoken in anger when I should have spoken in patience, I have been silent when I should have defended us. But never doubt, this my love for you has not dimmed, it has only grown restless. Like a heart that keeps pounding against the cage of ribs, begging to be heard. I have imagined our future, the children's laughter echoing through the house, the gray in your hair and mine, the evenings where we sit and tell stories to the stars. And it is beautiful, but it will not come to pass if we let this distance keep growing. Do this now, not because I command you, but because you know in the secret places of your heart that it must be done. Speak the truth you've been holding back. Tear down the walls you have been building, brick by quiet brick. Come back to the table where we once shared our dreams without fear of judgment. Stop hiding in your own shadows. Let me stand in them with you until they vanish. My wife, if you knew how many nights I've stayed awake, tracing the shape of your absence beside me, you would not wait another breath to bridge this gap. Baby, I keep picturing your face as I write this. The way your eyes carry an entire universe inside them. I can almost hear your soft laugh in my mind. That sound that makes even my darkest days feel like the sun is right here, pouring light into every broken corner of me. And yet, I can't touch you. I can't kiss you. Not right now. And that truth alone is why my heart is hammering these words out like a desperate song. Do you remember the last time we hugged? How my arms refused to let go. How your heartbeat pressed against my chest. Felt like a secret code only we could understand. I keep replaying it over and over because it's the only medicine that keeps me from drowning in missing you. But baby, replays are not enough anymore. I need the real thing. I need the warmth, the scent, the way you fit perfectly into my embrace. Like you were always meant to be there. This is why I'm writing with such urgency. Because this feeling is bigger than waiting, bigger than distance, bigger than excuses. It's the kind of love that doesn't just knock politely on the door of your heart. It breaks it wide open and says, I'm here and I'm never leaving. Baby, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm weak without you. The world can call it dependency, but I call it truth. Because in your absence, colors lose their depth. Music loses its rhythm, and I lose myself. You are the map and the destination, the journey and the rest. Without you, I'm just wandering. I don't want to wander anymore. I want to run to you so fast that time gets jealous. I want to throw myself into your arms, like they're the only safe place in existence. And when I'm there, I never want to let go.